Howdy. So, we're currently grinding weed. We have a lot more to go. Oh, my life. Sometimes I'm utterly shocked that I'm still alive. But then I remember why. I'm hilarious. People tell me that, like a lot of people tell me I'm funny. Like, I get that shit everywhere I go. And like, I crack up my managers and I crack up telemarketers and I crack up Verizon sales representatives and I crack up male people, you know? I don't say male men or male ladies because what? It's can't use gender terms anymore. I just think it's funny people that like try to be politically correct all the time. Like, political correctness is for fucking schmucks. Schmuckheads. Like, I just hate how people think that that's gonna like solve any kind of problem as like being politically correct. Like, the worst thing that could happen is like somebody gets offended, you know? So fucking what? Like, I get way more offended by actions than words. I mean, I've been called a lot of things. Like, I was called stupid yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before. Oh yeah, because you didn't have like a $10 bill. Yeah, man. It's like, people don't have any problem like flipping their shit over stuff like that. So like, yeah, I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my mind. I have a lot of black people tell me though that like it's really funny that I'm like so black. Like, they find it amusing that like white people get so offended by stuff, and so they find my existence pretty hilarious because of like how people misinterpret me. But it's like, if the worst thing that happens to me is like I get misinterpreted, and what are you gonna do? Like, shoot me, stab me? It's like, fuck, I'm already like suicidally depressed. So like, what? Are you gonna like make threats or some shit? Like, I'm gonna kill that bitch. Yeah, but you're paranoid about that kind of stuff, though. I am. It's like, because I don't know how crazy other people are. Like, I know how crazy I am. But like, I wonder that all the time. Like, if I upset somebody, I'm like, are they gonna like slash my tires? See, I was told that slashing somebody's tires is like way more dangerous than you'd think, because like if you do it wrong, that tire can like blow your fucking arm off. That's what could happen because of the pressure. So it's like, you really gotta know what you're doing in order to get away with shit like that. But yeah, like, it's like I get paranoid Like when I have to deal with like people I don't like I do this in the window a lot, where I work, where it's like I'll be afraid to like confront somebody because like I don't know how like they're gonna react, and I'm worried that if they react violently, and I don't mean like physical violence, but they just start yelling at me or some shit, it's like I'm not going to be able to refrain from like laughing. Because that's what I do when like people complain about stuff and I think it's dumb. I just start laughing. I'm like, hey man, at least I'm not cussing them out. And they're like, well, you can't react like that. I'm like, well, do you want me to work the drive-thru or not? Because people are stupid, you know? So fucking stupid. And they think I'm stupid just because I don't have a fucking $10 bill. Are you for real? But yeah. I'm funny though. I know I'm fucking funny. Just I really didn't know how funny I was until like I started to do comedy, and I was like, oh wow, this really is like something that I got that's good. Because I didn't feel that way for the longest time. Like, I just had all these thoughts, and it was just adding up and adding up and adding up, and it's like, and I just keep collecting. I mean, I still am, but I feel like now there's some sort of direction that I'm taking it. And I feel like with the videos, I'll be able to sort of compartmentalize my thoughts. Oh my god, I love the smell of pot. It's so good. So we're off the next 2 days. Fuck yeah! We're gonna party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. That's awesome. Now we gotta make these wheat cookies though before like the charter dude comes. Because, I mean, I'm sure that the charter people get high, too, but you don't want to be too obvious about what you're doing. Okay, this one time, my mother, this is back when I was living at my parents' house, my mother told me that I had to answer the door for, like, the terminix guy, right? I totally forgot about that, because, like, my parents were gone. Like, my mom was at work. And I don't know where my dad was, but yeah, they were both gone. And so I smoked some pot in the garage, right? The smell usually dissipates within like 30 minutes. Sometimes less time than that. But like I had all day for that smell to fade. So I thought. But like I forgot, like that she told me that like yeah, the terminix dude's supposed to show up. And so he just like showed up, and I was like, oh fuck, and I was like, hi there motherfucker, and like, yeah, he sprayed the garage with his little insecticides or whatever the fuck they are, those little tools that have, I don't know, stuff that kills bugs, right, that's what it is. And, yeah, he came out of the garage and he was like, man, it smells good in there. And, like, it's funny because I was just, like, freaking out. I was like, he's gonna tell my parents. And he's a pothead himself. And I was like, oh, well, do you want some? And he was just like, are you gonna tell on me? I'm gonna tell the internet. I don't remember this fucker's name. I just hope my dad doesn't watch this video. That's... Because he would be really upset if he knew that I smoked out the bug man in his garage with illegal drugs. See, that's the thing. Like, my parents are against drug use just because it's illegal. Like, well, they're against you drinking too, but that's for more obvious reasons. Yeah. They're so conservative, though. You know? Like, they're vanilla with a capital V. Like, they don't do anything that's, like, ever so slightly unconventional. Or weird, you know? Like, they're the kind of people that, like, don't try shit like hummus and sushi and, like, they would never, like, go eat at, like, a Thai food restaurant or... Like, they're just boring, you know? Like, they just stick to, like, what they know. And see, I'm not like that. Like, I might be very, like, in my routines and shit, but, like, I try new shit all the time. Like heroin. But, you know, I try new foods. I'm always that person that, like, asks the server, like, what they recommend, and then I'll just do that. It's like, I'll like, ponder for, like, 45 minutes, like, what the fuck am I gonna eat? Like, everybody's food's already come. I'll be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with your suggestion, actually. But I don't know. I'm not a typical American, no. I don't eat in drive-thrus. It's just, I don't think I could, like, have respect for myself if I, like, spent my days off in, like, drive-thrus, you know? Even if it was, like, a different drive-thru than the one that I work at. Remember, that's how you got your job at Steak and Shake. It was like, you went through the drive-thru at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. And they were, like, really understaffed. And that's when you asked them about a job. And you were told that, like, you'd get an interview immediately. And then you did. Yeah. I feel like that job, like, changed my life. And yet it didn't change my life at the same time. You keep talking about it, though, so... It obviously meant a lot to you. Yeah. Well, Steak and Shake's like one of those jobs where, like, you can get away with anything. You can come in to work in, like, whatever state of mind you feel like it. You can come in, like, super duper late. And still have your job. You can get in a fight with somebody in the parking lot, still have your job. You get the cops called on you, still have your job because of the fight you got into in the parking lot. You can beat the shit out of another employee and still have your job. You can keep liquor bottles and drug paraphernalia in the ceiling tiles and still have your job. You can steal shit and still have your job. Dude, I know so many people... I mean, they might as well do it anyway. Steak and Shake's an evil corporation. Like, it's always tempting to steal shit if you work for an evil corporation. I don't know why people are like, well, I'm above that. Like, I don't steal. Stealing's wrong. I'm like, well, you don't question things and you're an idiot. You know? The only reason they say stealing is wrong is because it's one of the fucking 10 commandments, you know? Same with murder. Murder ain't wrong. Like I said, just the wrong people will get murdered. That's why I think there should be a pro-life Dexter. That's right. For the pro-life cause, What do you mean for the pro-abortion cause? Well, it's like, all those pro-lifers, don't you wish that they had been aborted? Sucks. It sucks that their mommies, like, made the decision that they made. But yeah, there should be a pro-life Dexter who just, like, drives around and, like, preys upon, like, those, people that sport the happy baby license plates. I zoomed in on one the other day in the drive-thru. I'm sure they have no idea what my intentions were. Well, I'm sure they didn't catch you filming, because if they did, like, they'd probably ask somebody about it. Like, why the fuck was this girl filming the back of my car? Yeah, I hate the fact that pro-lifers are, like, totally oblivious to, like, the obvious truth about what happens to most of those babies that get saved. Like, they get put up for adoption, but, like, most of them don't get adopted. Adoption is what happens the least, okay? So I think that's really silly to do that. Like, I don't understand how people can, like, justify making that decision, like, considering all the horrific things that happen to children in foster care. No, I mean, horrific things happen to children all over, you know? Like, they could be in foster care, or they could just have religious nutjob parents, you know? Like, I went to school with, like, a lot of kids that, you know, got their asses whooped way into high school, and I think corporal punishment, it might not be child abuse, but it's close to child abuse. It's pretty up there, at least in my book. And I know that my book's, like, the crazy manifesto, but it's still better than your stupid book, right? Because I feel like everybody else's book, like the one that they live by, is just, like, shit that other people have, like, told them to believe. And, like, I just figure out for myself, like, what works and what doesn't. And I don't know, maybe corporal punishment works to a certain point, but I don't think that, like, people should administer it, like, it's the only option. Like, I don't see how, like, anybody could, like, feel good about themselves, like, hitting their kid in any kind of way. Even if they, like, tell themselves, like, oh, this is loving. It's because I don't want them to run out into the street and get hit by a car and die. You know? It's like, people just tell themselves this stuff. You know, just, like, I can rationalize coming in, like, really late. I mean, we all rationalize stuff that we do. So that maybe, like, we don't have to do more. But, I mean, just when it comes to child rearing, I think that's probably the last place you want to do that shit. But I don't have a child. I know I don't have a kid. If I did, I wouldn't. I would have just killed him, you know? Because I believe in abortion. And by the way, abortion is totally murder. Like, the conservatives are right about that. But sometimes, murder's okay. Murder beats molestation any day. It's like, oh no, keep that kid alive. It needs to be fondled by 13 different people. Yeah, fuck, I actually feel like making this butter tonight. What time is it? I think it's probably almost 7 o'clock. Do you have your phone? Oh, there's your phone. Yeah, it is 6:38 right now, you guys. Didn't you love that sound? Don't be jealous, just go